Well, good morning and welcome back to Little French Homestead. If you are new to my channel today, welcome. If not, thank you for coming back. So today's video, we're going to be trying a little something new, and I'm going to try to create for you what a zero waste pantry should be, okay? Now, nobody is ever going to be 100% zero waste, okay? That is totally impossible. But I'm going to show you some of the ways that you can go ahead and drastically reduce some of that zero waste to help bring a little bit of balance in your life and more money back in your pocket. So zero waste, if you don't know what it is you're basically trying to eliminate extra packaging, and that way you're not going to be spending as much money buying these particular items, okay? Also to reusable containers, like these things. I have jars that I constantly reuse, especially when I'm making like my homemade rice mixes and any dry mixes or anything like that. That is what you're looking for to do down the road. So the first thing is to reduce. There are five R's, okay? So the 5 R's to this is reduce, refuse, recycle, rot, and reuse, okay? So the first one I'm gonna dig into is gonna be reduce. So this is like reducing your waste as you're going out. Buy in bulk if you can. I know some people always can't afford to do that, but if you can't afford to do that, or even if you start saving a little bit of extra money aside and maybe going to do that 25-pound bag at rice at whether it's Costco's or Sam's Club, slowly start building up your pantry stock. That is a great idea. Those little tiny rice bags, when you have to buy like 2 or 3 of those a week or more in a month time, not only is that the waste that we're talking about, but then that also too, that is more gas on your car and more time out of the way from your family that you could be spending. And then also too, you know, it's going to cost more money. Hold on, I have a cat who wants to get in the picture. His name is Cinnamon. Hi, honey. Mwah. Mama filming. But those are the things that you need to go ahead and think about as you are starting to build your pantry or wanting to go ahead and do this zero waste pantry, okay? So I buy in bulk. A lot of things I do. Now recently I did buy, it was my fault, I bought 2 because I thought the containers were smaller. I bought a lot of chicken bouillon, okay? So this is my chicken bouillon, okay? Now, I do have a smaller container that I reuse. So this is the one I keep in my pantry, okay? I had bought this, then I had an epiphany, and I went, why am I doing this? Why am I gonna buy a bunch of these little things when I can go ahead and buy this big one? And over time, I can save money, save gas on going to the store when I'm out, and I can go ahead and keep this small one in my pantry and then keep this one in my back pantry for later future use down the line. Now this is sealed, okay? This is sealed. And then what I just did is I wrote chicken bouillon and then the date I bought the container so I know when this is good. So when I run out of the ones here, I can go in the back, fill this all up, keep the smaller one back behind. Same thing I do with my salt, okay? I bought this probably 2 years ago, this pink Himalayan salt. I go on Amazon and I usually buy a 5-pound, but this last time I bought a 10-pound and I put the date on it, sealed it. Now I didn't vacuum seal the salt, but salt's not gonna go bad. That thing can last forever. But that's what I do here. So I run out of salt and I go, let me go grab some, and then I fill it up. That is what we mean by reduce your waste, reduce your spending. So when you buy in bulk, that helps you out tremendously. Now also too, when you're buying in bulk, you can go ahead and get these Gamma containers. This is a 5-gallon bucket and then a Gamma lid. This also has a complete seal right here. You seal this down, airtight, protects it from pests and anything else, moisture. What I have in here are my beans. So I bought these beans, 12 pounds, maybe like a little over, almost a year ago. But because I keep these in a well-sealed jar, also in a plastic bucket, also too in a cool, dark place, you don't have to worry about any bugs. That way, when I need any type of black beans or pinto beans, I go ahead and make them up. Now let me bring you over here and then I'll show you how I manage them. So when I need black beans or pinto beans, because I have both here on my shelf, now what I go do is I will soak these for about 12 hours, okay? You put them in water and you soak them. Then you're gonna go ahead and rinse them out. You will then cook them and then you will go ahead and process them in your pressure cooker, okay? Now, what I ended up doing is you have to be careful because beans do expand. Now, when the expansion happened, I had an overload. So for us, that's okay. But I am down to 2 of my black beans and 3 of my pinto beans, okay? But now I don't have to go and buy any. I can go ahead and say, oh, I need to go ahead and make some up, throw them in the in a pot with some water, make sure that the water covers the beans. Then you're just gonna go ahead, soak them overnight, make them up. There's plenty of online recipes that you can do. Just make sure that you follow the guidelines for the pressure canning and the safe guidelines for there's a pressure canning website, like All American Canning and stuff. They also have those particular directions and stuff all down there. You want to make sure that you can safely, because you can get botulism if you don't do it properly, okay? Now, next on the list is in buying in bulk. You can buy not only beans, rices, salts, you can go nuts, other spices, baking items like flour. I have a big thing of flour also in the back. I do have a small little thing of some self-rising flour here. This is what I just used. I have a 2-ingredient biscuit that I love to make, and that requires self-rising flour, okay? But other than that, I sometimes keep these backups here. When I go to Sam's Club, I usually get a 25-pound bag of flour, 25-pound bag of sugar, 25-pound bag of rice, and then when I need plain rice, I keep it in here. But then if I have, my flavored rices, I go ahead and mark it here. So this is a beef flavored rice. I have videos down below I can link to you. And so that way you're not buying then rice-a-roni. So now you just saved yourself even more money. So the box rice-a-roni can probably cost, maybe on a good day, if you get it on sale, it's $1. Or you can do the buy one, get one freeze, which I do absolutely love. A lot of this stuff here was buy one, get one freeze. So I'm not saying that you can't do zero waste, that you have to. But, to help curb and save some money, you can make your own, okay? You also got oils and vinegars that you can make on your own. You have teas and coffees. Those are all the same kind of idea. You can buy it in bulk, you know, as long as you properly seal it, vacuum seal it. If it does require oxygen absorbers, put those in there as well, seal it, put it in those plastic containers, put it in a dark room. I keep ours in our closet because it is dark in there. There's no light except for the bathroom lights, because we have then the big curtains that knock out the lights. My husband actually sleeps during the daytime, so we need some really good lights, really good curtains to shield us. Okay, so when you go ahead and, you know, buy in bulk and you make some of these stuff, then that way when you get home and you go, oh no, I forgot, you know, like breadcrumbs, because you're doing breadcrumbs with chicken, or maybe, you know, a can of cream of chicken soup. Have those items as backups. It is okay to still have cream of chicken soup, but in the event that you don't have it, have backups. Okay, I have this one right here, beef gravy. Okay, we do a lot of beef gravy, and sometimes I don't want to go ahead and use the packages, so I go ahead. I usually have like a little cheat sheet on here. This is for some cookies. I usually have a cheat sheet with the directions on it, so then that way if somebody else needs to make it besides myself, they already know the directions. They know what to add, how much water, what you're doing, and or milk, and you just mix it all up on that way. You're saving yourself money by not having them to run to the store, and you're saving yourself a lot of time. And nowadays, time is precious. So the next ones is recycle, and I like to say reuse as well. They kind of go hand in hand. So you always want to recycle as much as possible, and you want to reuse as much as possible as well. So for instance, you know, like if this glass jar, picking a bad one, but so say when we use this glass jar, okay, we are all done with it. You go ahead, wash it out, and you can use it for storage. Okay, you can make rice mixes in these types of jars. You don't have to go out and buy mason jars. Okay, only if you're going to do pressure canning. But if you're just going to have it just very simple and very easy, keeping your stuff here on this pantry, it's okay to go ahead and use one of these. You know, have a dishwasher, reuse it, not a big deal. Okay, now let me tell you this real quick. So my mom has a great way to reuse her old pickle jars. Okay, so my dad and my mom grow a lot of their fruits and vegetables, especially cucumbers. Okay, so you see where I'm going with this? So as my dad picks all these cucumbers, my mother takes them, she processes them, and then she makes her own spicy brine for the cucumbers, and then she adds them to that pickle jar, and then she keeps them in the refrigerator for probably a couple of days before then they start digging in. She does that with the banana peppers she grows. She does that with jalapenos. So she makes all of the pickled onions. So she makes all of these wonderful homemade jarred items, and she's just reusing the same jars as she has on hand. Now she washes them. She's got a dishwasher, so as soon as they get done, she'll throw them in the dishwasher and make a fresh batch. But that's how you do it. She doesn't own any mason jars. I have given her a couple here and there for some things she needs as an item, or whatever, you know, she needs it for, but she doesn't go and buy them. So it's not like you're then you're wasting money that way. You're actually saving money. So you're using something into something else. That's a big deal. Also too, you know, on that reuse, it's very, very simple to go ahead. Now, I'm going to come around the corner for a second, okay? Now, on the reuse part, plastic bags, okay? Now, I know not everyone is going to have those handy dandy recyclable bags, okay? But these are also very good to use. When my husband goes around and takes out the trash, he makes sure that he, especially in our bathrooms, you know, I'm sorry, I'm talking about like bathrooms. So he goes ahead, puts this down in there, takes the other one out, and then takes it to the dump. This is a very good way to recycle and reuse plastic bags. Before we got our litter robot, because we now have 5 cats, thankfully income tax check came, and we're saving ourselves a lot of time by having one of these. I absolutely love it. My kids love it too. They don't have to worry about it. And we actually see, believe it or not, there's an app to show us how often the kitty robot is being used and how many scoops of, you know, litter that we're saving from by not scooping it all up. You know, but, you know, it's things like that. So we were using that for kitty litter. So we're not going out and buying extra bags or extra this or extra that and wasting more money and contributing to our environment. Now these things, and let me go ahead and quickly show you. So these things I absolutely love, okay? They are collapsible, just like this. You can store them in your car. They come in bags, a thing of 4, and you have the felt back here, then you've got this hard piece right here, and it's attached so it won't come out, and then it opens all up. Do you know how much I can fit into here? You got 4 of these. I don't do milk unless it's a very light shopping trip, but I can hold so much in here. That big shopping trip that I done, when I showed you what we went through at Publix, that was a $300 shopping trip. A lot of that stuff fit in these. A few things obviously didn't, but a lot fit in there. This is awesome. I keep these in the back of my car. I just haven't got a chance to put them back in there. But these also, I can leave a link to, in the description box down below for you. I absolutely love these. And with these handles, they are so easy to carry. You can carry it just like this and walk up my flight of stairs, and I don't have to worry about it. And it's also got these little handles here on the sides in case you want to carry it like this. So once you go ahead and bring all of your stuff in, you got all of this bulk items, you know, go ahead around, you got any glass containers, or if you had any mason jars or anything like that, that's when you want to go ahead and start filling them. I got a container that I did in the back in my room that I have put, it's one of those nice big plastic 3-drawer, is it 3 or 4 drawer containers that can roll around on wheels. And I put these in there. I have to go and put that away. But when you go ahead and get those home, you're going to want to go ahead, put them in a one of these jars, seal them up nice and tight. Like I said earlier, if you want to go ahead and vacuum seal them, you know, check on how many oxygen absorbers that you need, because you want to make sure that it's properly stored, especially if you're spending all this money on these particular big bulk items. You want to save as much as possible. You know, I don't know how many times that, you know, I've seen online and heard from horror stories that they weren't sealed properly and bugs got in them, you know, and it rotted and whatnot. You can't do that, okay? Now, our last one is rot, okay? So upon rot, now you can go ahead and do like a compost pile, but some of that stuff you can't put in there. So you have to look at it in the proper organic sense, because when you're doing a compost, you can only do, you know, like organic materials like eggshells, you know, stuff like that. It's got to be the brown in green mixture with yard waste and debris. But also like cardboard and stuff. Now, we do a lot of burning, okay? Again, we are here in Florida. Now, we couldn't burn for a little while, but we are able to burn now. So the other day, my husband, he burns all of our cardboards. So, you know, we do get some stuff from Amazon. We do still get stuff from Chewy because we have the cats and it's a really good price and it's in bulk and we get it delivered here to the house. One less thing I have to pick up when I have to go shopping. You know, you can do some home delivery stuff. There are some items where I do get from Sam's Club. Some items can only be purchased through online. Now, like I told you before, you know, we love the chi-chi salsas, okay? So this time I did not because these were buy one, get one over at Publix. But I do normally buy in the really big containers, their chi-chi salsa. We love that. It's only sold online, so we have to get it through them. There's only a few other things that are sold online. So when we do get all of that items that come in, well, obviously you get a lot of cardboard. So my husband, he takes it and burns it. But if you don't have outside, so you don't have access to a yard or anything like that, sometimes you can maybe make a Facebook post and say, hey, I got a whole bunch of boxes. If anybody's moving, then sometimes they may come get them. Hopefully you're in luck with that. With a lot of our kitchen scraps that we're able to do, we just give right to our chickens. That helps feed them and produce more eggs for us. That is part of the recycling and reuse, cycle. So then that way they have the fresh food along with their grains and their bugs, but then they also get something delicious off of us. So to try and maintain those 5 R's, it's not impossible, but you have to start somewhere to go ahead and become zero waste. Now, like I said earlier, can you be 100% zero waste? No, you really can't, okay? Something that you use always has plastic. Something that you use always has like boxes or something. But if you could try to buy in bulk to eliminate a lot of the stuff, especially if you have stores that do, bulk in a bag, buy from that. And like your nuts and stuff like that, come home, put them in these jars. Nuts store awesomely in the freezer. So you could sit there and still buy them. And then again, you're also saving money. Unfortunately, with all of these prices, of gas that goes up and down and fluctuates, our food has been going up. The cost has been going up, but the products keep getting smaller. So, if you buy in bulk, you are going to save. It does take a while to build a really nice pantry that is working for you and not you working for it, okay? So, with one more thing I did want to say, I just realized that with buying in bulk. Now, when my kids were growing up, I was not aware of any of this at that time frame. I really wasn't. It wasn't, I was ignorant. I just, it's something you just didn't think about. So I would go and buy those little individual applesauces or, individuals of like yogurts and stuff like that, bring them, give them to the lunches. And just recently, I was at work, and I do work with kids, and I just saw during spring break the amount of itty-bitty stuff that was just mind-blowing that these people would go ahead and give to their kids. Now, you can buy those big, really tubs of yogurt, all sorts of flavors, and then use maybe like the little reusable, because they're kids, plastic containers. And then that way You just brought it home. You saved yourself some money. Yes, it might stink a little bit during cleanup, but you just saved yourself. And then that way you have yogurt to last. You can have yogurt. Somebody else can have yogurt, but it's all in these little containers. Same thing with like applesauce. You know, I don't know the amount of applesauce that I went through because of my kids. They all loved the little small ones of the Mott's applesauce. I'm not affiliated with them, but they loved them. Now looking back, I just would have bought the really big containers, or if I was able to do it, do homemade. Now I started doing homemade food for them as they were babies, and then growing up, I got away from all that. And you know, now that you think about it during this time frame, it would have been easier just to go ahead and continue making your home food. Now, sometimes it is unnecessarily hard to go ahead and keep up with that, but I'm just trying to give you some other options out there for you and your family to help and save money. So I just want to say thank you so much for coming into my home today. If you like this video, go ahead, click the like button, share, go ahead and place a comment down below. I love reading them. I do try to respond as much as I can. And go ahead and subscribe. Click that notification bell to get all of my new and updated videos. And as always, keep on cooking. Bye.